Welcome to Whiskey and Whiskers. This is episode 2, version X.
Fuck you.
I'm your host, Chop.
Gator.
Chris.
Blake.
And today we're joined by our guest, Jake.
Hey guys, what's up? My name's Jake Rose with Lunch Money Fishing. It's hot out here. What do you think?
It's fucking hot. That's no doubt.
Again.
Every day.
Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible's offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/whiskey and whiskers and browse the unlimited selection of audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/whiskey and whiskers. So,
I think this week you actually might know what's in the Magic Cooler.
I do.
Oh,
and
man.
actually, there's some options. The Magic Cooler has been very good to us.
Oh. Oh, shit.
So,
I hear clinking.
I'm gonna pick one.
Pick one.
There we go.
Well, that looks like a Captain Morgan bottle, though.
I like the cap.
All right, today on Whiskey and Whiskers, we're going to be drinking Four Roses Bourbon, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. I'm going to read the back real quick. Paul Jones Jr., the founder of Four Roses Bourbon, became smitten by a beautiful Southern belle. He sent a proposal to her, and she replied that if her answer were yes, she would wear a corsage of roses on her gown to the upcoming grand ball. When she showed up the night of the ball in her beautiful gown, she wore a corsage of 4 red roses. He later named his bourbon Four Roses as a symbol of a devout passion for the lovely belle.
Huh.
All right.
That's
cute.
adorable.
That is cute. That is cute.
I thought you were trying to not be pretentious.
No, I just thought it was a cool bottle.
It is a cool bottle.
It's roses, man.
It's
Oh,
a little
nice.
tall and skinny.
It is tall and skinny, but I don't know. It's got a good shape.
There's nothing wrong with tall and skinny.
It's broader at the top, narrower at the bottom. It's not a straight cylinder like a beer bottle. It's got a wooden top.
I like it.
Yeah.
Looks like it's got some cork. We're gonna hear some pop here in just a second. You ready?
Ooh, yeah.
All right.
Kind of weak.
A
Here.
little squeaky.
Yeah, it's squeaky.
That was
Oh,
better.
that was better. That was better.
Yeah, you kind of got some twist action on that first one, I think.
Yeah, you're
Established
kind
18.
kind of
Love the
authentic.
twist action.
you're kind of a pussy the first time you tried to do it.
You mean empowered? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just not empowered enough.
All right.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, let's take a...
How you guys doing today? You guys have a good day?
I had a really good day.
I had a day just like a lot of days.
I had a day like yesterday. Today's been kind of recovery from yesterday.
Blake came down to the water. He
Yeah.
saw it. I think he liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who doesn't like water, man?
It's not so much the water. It's
It's
they
good
serve-
vibes on the
They
lake.
serve booze and
There's good vibes on the lake.
it's just
man.
good, man. It's just good. It is the water.
I like the lake.
Everybody does, and it's summertime, so like lake is...
Yeah, but have you ever
In
been to
full-
the lake
full
without them serving booze to you?
No.
Eh.
Like,
I mean, I
maybe
have,
when I
but
was 6.
It wasn't... It was a little bit different thing.
Maybe when I was 6.
Oh, wait, they serve booze at Schlitterbahn, right?
All right, everyone
Not
got
to me when I
everyone
was
got their
6.
clean shot glasses.
Yeah.
When you're old enough, they do.
Cheers, guys. It's good seeing you guys.
Cheers.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Salute. It's goddamn fire water.
All right.
Ooh, the faces.
Not too bad, not too bad.
The faces.
Initial impression is it's not my favorite thing, but it's not the worst thing I've ever had in my mouth.
Boom.
That's Evan Williams. Same shit. Exact same.
No, it's not.
It's sweeter.
It's a little bit sweeter. It's got a pretty hard bite.
Actually does
And
remind
I
me
would
a lot
say
of
even
them.
a hint of crunch.
It tastes like fucking Evan Williams to me.
Yeah, I'm with Jake.
It's a little sweeter than Evan Williams.
A little bit. But
yeah.
it's there. That same feel you get. And we've been drinking that shit for years. That's the same fucking
So that's
they knew each
a
other.
mid-shelf bottle. I
What does that mean?
don't know if
Me-
like it's not from the top. It's not the most expensive, but
Not the best.
Okay. It is more expensive than Evan Williams. I don't know. I think it's better than Evan Williams, but
I would say marginally so.
I don't know that it's. I don't know that it's
It's hot.
leaps
man.
and bounds in
It's
front
hot.
of
It bites hard. I think we should give it a good 2 or 3 go.
Yeah,
Do you have a
passes
fire
at it.
scale? A fire? What the fire I feel in
Bite.
my face? Or
That would be
Bite.
bite.
bite?
yeah. Let's roll and we'll come back to it.
I think it's
Critique
good
it
though.
later.
All right.
So yeah, today I got to go down to the lake and hang out with Jake. We drank some margs on the water.
Margs on the water. Actually, we didn't drink margs. You just they're just good. It's my own.
Oh, what were we? Yeah, we were drinking.
Jameson and Sprite with a chunk of lime, man, on the water.
Yeah, so it kind of,
So 7 and 7-ish.
but with lime.
Not even sweet.
More
though.
limey.
Extra sweet. Add lime. It's good. It's good.
So yeah, it
Good
was
call.
a good time. That place is so fucking pretty.
Yeah, man, it's a good spot, man. It's makes me happy, dude. I like being down there. It's definitely a good place. For
You
me.
spent a lot of time on the water.
Every day, bro. Every day.
What
Yeah, we're catching fish down there. We're working these boats. We're fixing people's fuck ups. Like it's all kinds of fixing my fuck ups.
Hell
Crushed the
yeah.
boat on Sunday.
Nice,
like,
dude.
crunched.
Fuck.
Dude, it's the lake, man. Shit happens. But it's also, dude, the best.
It's gotta be a weird thing. Like you're like, fuck, I'm having a bad day, and then you look around and you're like on Lake Travis and it's beautiful outside and there's
Oh yeah.
water that like
You can have a bad day in paradise, brother.
It's
Right?
a,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It's just it makes normal days great. It does.
It's a lot harder to not fuck up a boat than it is to fuck up a boat.
I
I
try
don't
to
know
say
about
that all the
that.
time, bro. All the time.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
dude, you fuck up a boat in a second.
you just don't want to fuck up someone else's boat. That's what's key.
I
Right.
don't own a boat, so
So
I
if you
will
fuck up
always
a boat,
fuck up somebody else's
Well,
boat.
I mean, really, better them than me. I'd rather fuck up their boat than my boat. Not that I have a boat, but
That's true. If I had a boat, I wouldn't want to fuck it up.
yeah.
Whole bimini top.
that's why I want you guys to get a boat, and I'll just go out fishing and skiing on it.
I want you
shit.
guys to get a boat.
If you have a boat, I can tell you what's gonna go wrong right now.
I'm gonna fuck it up.
And you're gonna forget to do it, and then you're gonna fuck it up. And the things that happen is you forget to put the plug in, and then you launch, and it fills up full of water. That's
Dude,
number one.
that
Everybody
is
does that.
80% of problems I have.
The other thing you're
Wow.
gonna do is
got
feel like you're
99
gonna use
problems,
it more than
80
you're
of them are
going to. So inevitably, at the end of season, you're gonna put it in storage and go, "Oh, I'm gonna take it out again in a couple weeks," and then you never go out again, and then it freezes, and you didn't winterize your boat, and now you got a crack block and all kinds of other fucking problems.
Ooh, I got another one too. What about when you take it out and you park it in a cove and you swim and play the radio?
Video the whole time, yeah, and then
And the
your
battery
battery
dies?
dies, and
Yeah.
you have to get towed back to fucking safety.
Hell yeah.
Yikes.
There's a yeah. Take a jumper box with you. is
Run
what
out
I'd
of
learned.
gas?
Oh
You
man,
ever
story
done that
time.
before?
So I went out with my dad one time. He had a boat and we went out fishing. And we got all the way across the lake and I don't remember what happened, but something fucked off and I was really young. I don't remember exactly how old, but we got across the main basin of Lake Travis, fished for a couple hours, and then we went to go back and the boat wouldn't start. And so Dad had a paddle on the boat, and we sat there and fucking paddled all the way across the main basin in like a big ass tri-hole boat.
How far was this paddle? A mile?
1,000 miles.
5 miles?
Probably a mile.
It depends on if you had headwinds or tailwinds.
Yeah.
So it took 5 hours.
Oh yeah. No, this was like a several hour ordeal.
Dude, I did the old kill the battery on the boat one time, and it was me and one buddy, and we had maybe a 12-pack of beer left, and we were dead in the middle of the water, like way off on the far end of the lake. And I didn't have anybody to call except for your dad, and I called him, and he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm at work, and I'll be off in like 3 hours, and then I'll come get you.
Yeah.
And we ran out of beer on hour 2. And about hour 4.5 when he showed up, we were absolute lobsters, dehydrated, throwing up. It was terrible. It was terrible. And then
It's a
had
good
to
time.
get the boat out of the water with no engine.
Yeah.
The lake.
The lake.
The lake.
Fun.
Shit, man.
That's a
It's
good time.
fun.
Have y'all ever swim across the lake before?
I don't know.
So I've not
Kinda.
swam across Lake Travis, but I have swam across Lake LBJ before.
I've swum across Lake Travis at midnight.
I've swum
Really
across the
stupid,
river.
but I did.
Yeah, but there's different spots of Lake Travis. Like,
yeah.
Sure, yeah, this wasn't
Yeah.
by the dam or anything.
So everybody talks about, hey man, are you a strong swimmer? And it's like, well, yeah, I can swim, but dude, I'm a strong floater.
Do you think people have died
I'm a
trying
strong
to...
floater, bro. I can float with anybody as long as it needs to be days, bro.
Do you,
It's I don't do the long swimming, bro. It's not my thing.
So have you ever floated across Lake Travis?
No, it's the current's always wrong, man. I try. It just doesn't happen.
There definitely is a difference between like the main basin of any lake and then like
Yeah.
the river part.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's-
saying. You can get up in the Narrows. You can swim across, like, no problem.
Yeah.
You swim across Lake Austin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
swim across Lake Austin for sure. But that's more like a river than a lake.
Yep.
Right. And
Dude,
I-
one time I went out in the boat. It's gonna be the same, or almost same story. I went out in the boat. Bunch of people are hanging out. We're listening to the radio. Everyone's jumping out swimming. It's anchored, Listen to the radio, and we jump back in, try and start it. And we're like, oh shit.
We're fucked.
And it was my cousin's boat, and he's like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, should we tell everybody? And I was like, no, like everybody's hanging out swimming. They're not going, oh no, we're stuck here.
We don't need to ruin the time now.
Yeah, they're just floating in the lake.
Let's ride this out as long as it'll go, man.
So we did. We turned the radio back on and
You're
like,
waving
look,
your arms, and they're like, "Look at the people! They're partying over there. They're having so much fun."
dude, we just stayed there and kept drinking. And then the first time someone came through, we were like, hey, can we get a jump? And everyone in our group was like, wait, what? So
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah,
That's so
good.
slick.
Worked out a lot better for you than it did
That
for me.
reminds me. I'm gonna segue off. I know we're talking about boating, but dude, I was in a truck with this guy, Blake, and we're hauling. If you can say the weight of the wire we were pulling, do you remember when we were pulling wire in that blue Tundra?
Is that confidential?
It was probably somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 pounds.
Okay, so we got a lot of weight on this trailer, and one of the coolest cucumber dudes I've ever been around. We're cruising, and dude, I don't think anything's happening, and we pull into this spot, pull the trailer over, and Blake's like, dude, if that light wouldn't have turned green, we would have killed that Miata in front of us. We have no brakes.
I went brakes
And
to
dude,
the floor.
He kept it so cool.
Brakes
It
to
was
the floor,
insane.
and it had the Shift-tronic thing. So
was
I dropped
insane.
it over and was downshifting and just, full, all we had. We had all we had. I spun the wheel on the trailer brakes, and this is it. Trailer brakes are gone. Truck brakes are about gone.
Whoa.
Didn't say
done.
a fucking word, bro.
Mr.
Well,
Cool.
I mean, what are you going to do? Like,
I can't
Yeah.
do anything. Why bother me before it? You know?
Why ruin a good time, man?
Yeah. But cool as a cucumber.
so yeah, we had to pull it into a mechanic shop, and they fixed our
Yeah,
trailer.
man.
Didn't
brakes
didn't
then.
you have a similar experience on a motorcycle, Chris?
No brakes on a motorcycle.
I had no downshifting on the motorcycle.
Oh,
So
dude,
I
my
remember
gear
that.
shift was
Oh,
laying on top of my
yeah.
foot when I was fucking doing 65 down 183.
Whoa.
I remember that.
That's pretty fun.
Can't
Yeah.
downshift.
Can downshift
Stopping is hard.
in fifth gear, yeah.
Ruh-roh. Did you have a clutch still?
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
yeah. That's what saved me. Dude, I cruised it a ways off the highway and made it all the way to a gas station in like fucking fifth gear.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I
that'll.
snapped a clutch cable one time. And
Dude,
that
it
was
came
about
off on
the
me again.
worst of the worst.
What happened?
It's just like you're riding a fucking Bronco. Like, so I pulled in the clutch, and it just, you felt it snap, right? And I'm cruising, and I'm trying to figure out what just happened, and I realize, oh shit, the clutch cable snapped. What's up, Dad? Made me pay for that shit. Wasn't my bike. And I'm clutching, and it's just so flimsy.
Nothing, yeah.
You knew it was broke. And so I'm sitting here like, okay, I have to stop. And honestly, the right thing would have been to run the stop signs and go home. I was in Hudson Bend. I could have made it home. But, dude, I came to a stop without a clutch.
Ugh.
So
And,
it's going to jump on you.
dude, it felt like I was riding a wild fucking horse, dude.
Yeah.
It was trying to kick me off. And I was in probably third or fourth gear. So when you get down to like 25, it's go. And it,
Shit.
dude, it was bucking and dude, it was
It's
it was
gnarly.
gnarly, man. Upgrade
kill it, maybe you
upgrade
kill
the
it?
clutch cable. Well, you could kill it. You're still in gear. The transmission's still
Oh,
active.
yeah, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, dude.
There's nothing you can do except hop it to a stop.
It's hopping, dude. Hopping
Uh-huh.
hard. And the tires. And
Yep.
it's
Damn.
just fucked up, dude, man. It was bad.
Yay, boats and bikes.
Shit. So, have any of y'all ever ridden or ridden?
Yep.
Roaded?
Rode
A
Riding?
wild horse?
Yes.
No, I never rode no horse.
Wild horses?
Yes, I have.
Woo!
couldn't-
That's a fucking. That's something.
I'm scared of horses.
So horses
Yeah,
are scary
man.
motherfuckers. They're
Fuck
big.
Yeah, dude.
And they can kick you, and
Yeah.
they can bite you.
And knock you in the
Dude,
head
fuck
with
that.
their head. They're big fucking.
2,000-pound doggo, man.
Uh huh. So I've gotten on an unbroken horse before, and that's life changing. That's some scary shit.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
I was getting paid.
Dude,
Oh.
similar to bull riding, man. It's kind of like driving down the highway, as Robert Earl Keane would say, at 65 miles an hour and chunking the steering wheel out the window.
Yep.
Damn.
No, I got on. So the first time I got on,
No, you're a bronc rider, bro.
and it and freaked out and jumped around. And it threw me in like 2 seconds ish.
Yeah,
Dude,
don't
that's
take
not
long.
an easy fall either. Like,
No.
you don't think a horse is that big until you're standing next to it and you're like, that's a big fucking critter.
Hopefully
and
if
then
you're
when it
breaking
throws
them,
you
though, they're
off,
not
you don't
full-grown
fall
yet,
off
but-
like in a downward direction.
Oh,
No,
no,
you
you
go up.
cartwheel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I've crashed motorcycles. I've crashed four-wheelers. The worst I've ever crashed was off of a horse, bro. Because I fell from 8 fucking feet.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
30 miles per hour, bro. It,
6 to 8 feet. If you're up
Destroyed
there
you.
and it bucks you up and you fall down, that's 6 or 8
this
feet.
wasn't even a wild horse. This
Yeah,
was
and
a
usually
perfectly
there's
tame
trees
horse.
around.
Yeah.
I just
Or
can't ride
fences.
horses. They have no brakes, man.
I hopped on it. It bugged me off in a couple seconds, and I hit the ground and was like, that was fucking shitty. I don't want to do that again. And then my friend got on, and he made it a couple seconds again, and he fell off, and he got fucked up pretty bad. And so right after that, it was my turn again, and I was like, well, I don't really want to do this, but all right. And so I got back on again, made it like 3 or 4 seconds, and it threw me off. And then the guy that owned the horse was like, all right, we're good for today or whatever. But dude,
Did y'all have them bridled at least?
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. That's a little easier.
Yeah.
Jumping bareback, fucking
Oh, yeah,
no
yeah,
bridle
no.
or anything's fucking super.
No, no,
When
no.
was
this horse
this?
is
When
set.
where did you do this?
This was like off Valente Road back in probably 2009.
See,
10?
horrible shit happens down at Valente, man. I'm telling you, man.
Valente's crazy.
Beautiful
man.
place. Horrible things happen.
Worst place I crashed a horse was in Bertram. First of all, never ride a horse that's named Bucky. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just a
There's
bad
a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just a bad idea.
For
Why
sure.
do y'all call him Bucky?
I fell off a number of horses prior to falling off a Bucky, but that was the one I got hurt, and it gave me the frightens.
Yeah. Luckily, prior to this horse bucking me off, we had spent like almost a week raking rocks out of this fucking pit where they built a, they set up the like fence
You
gate
can call
type
it the
thing, like a
pit.
pen.
That's where men get destroyed.
Yeah.
The pit.
So it was essentially all dirt and fucking sand where I was at, so it wasn't quite as bad.
Which is what a round pin's supposed to be, or a
Right.
rodeo arena, anything like
yeah,
that's
that's
supposed to be
we
solid.
we made a
dirt.
round pen. That's
Yeah.
basically what it was. This guy owned a property, and we built a round pen, and we raked out all the rocks and kind of like kicked up dirt
Softened
and
it
sand
up,
and stuff. Yeah. So it was a little bit better than say like riding on a trail.
You should
and-
also work a horse before you try to jump on it.
yeah.
Definitely put them in the pen with the whip and get them running around in circles and get them switching directions and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Then bridle them, jump on them.
Which
Fuck that. I'm not going to get on a horse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work a horse before I get on it because I'm not going to get on
Like
it.
nobody
Fuck
can
that.
follow rule number 1 all the time, bro.
Horses don't work. They don't have brakes or clutches or shifters. None of it.
It's hard to abide by rule number 1 all the time.
that's true.
I'm just over it. Like, so I've never been bucked off a horse. I've been on a horse. It's just not my jam.
Have you ever
down.
ridden a horse? Like,
Dude,
gotten
falling
to full
off a
gallops
horse.
and
I've trotted, I guess. Like, it's got its feet off the ground. I'm going, but I'm not hauling ass or anything now.
you rode a mini bike around the block, bro.
Yeah. Riding a horse can be a lot of fun. And
Oh,
horses
yeah.
are really fucking awesome creatures. Like they're
No,
incredibly
don't
smart.
get it twisted. You have to own this horse and love that horse, and that horse knows you.
It's not
and
true.
you know it.
That's
and
not
there's a
true.
relationship.
Yeah, I
Dude,
can
you
ride
get
a
on a
motorcycle.
random ass horse, that motherfucker will kill you.
Now,
He'll
an
run
elephant-
you right into a tree, and that tree is on top of a cactus patch.
In my experience with getting on a
You're
horse,
done.
it doesn't matter what horse it is, whether it's mine or somebody else's. My experience with getting on a horse is you figure that relationship out real fast.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much as soon as you get up there. And I mean, once you throw yourself on that creature, the trust has been earned. I mean, you're putting your trust into it, and you have to earn its trust in return.
Right.
And it's that push-pull, and you earn it quick within a couple of minutes or seconds, sometimes. Like, how this is going to go down.
Oh, yeah.
And either you're going to break or the horse is going to break, one or the other. And that's all there is to it. And if it's you, then that sucks.
Didn't John Wayne knock a horse out with a punch?
No,
But
No.
that was Blazing Saddles.
saddles, and it was
Yeah.
Mongo.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay.
And it was a bull,
Do
not a
you
horse.
think anybody could knock out a horse that's alive
No,
right now?
Mongo
Nagano,
rode a bull
maybe?
into town and then knocked out a horse.
I thought he knocked out the fucking cow.
No, he rode a longhorn into town.
Yeah, I know he
That's
was
so
alone.
awesome, bro.
That is badass.
Yeah, it is,
And then
dude.
someone's talking shit and he knocks
That's
out the
almost
horse.
as awesome as like riding a donkey into town. It's got some big old ears, but he runs real fast, you know? I don't know. But do you think anybody could knock out a horse alive right now? Like
Dude, maybe.
Francis Ngannou?
I was about to
or
say, if
any of those?
Ngannou just like stepped into it and
But
drilled it right in
I
there.
think he might blast his hand just to smithereens. Now, we don't support punching horses. We're just saying.
Right. This is hypothetical.
Yeah.
What I know
Have y'all
is
ever
I would
punched
get
a
on a
horse?
horse
That's a
any
lot of
fucking
meat,
day,
man.
but
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
pretty
You ever punched a horse?
sketched out about getting on the back of a bull.
Yeah, well, and that's what I was gonna say is like I'll get on a horse, but dude, I'm not getting on the back of an elephant.
Oh, I'll get on an
Well,
I would
elephant.
get on an elephant in a
Fuck
heartbeat.
that.
That's a long fall. It's a
The
long.
elephant's
That's a
so
long ass fall.
slow
And dude,
and
I went down a
tall.
rabbit hole one time of watching elephants rampage, like
Oh,
in a
I've done
street
that.
or something.
When they
Oh.
step on you, you're done.
Yeah,
dude.
elephant can destroy city,
Dude,
dude.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, one of the happiest moments of my life, I'm sitting on a balcony in Thailand, well-traveled, globetrotter, here we go. And I'm on a balcony, dude, and I'm just getting shithoused, not seeing the world or nothing. I'm
We-
sitting,
we playing-
drinking,
We playing basketball over
and,
here?
dude, this motherfucker brings up this cart of watermelons. Why are you trying to sell me watermelons right now, bro? And I see these elephants come down the fucking river, and they're like belly deep in the river. Their heads are right at the balcony. And dude, I got to throw watermelons in these fuckers' mouths, and that shit was awesome, dude.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
They're
That's
fucking
really cool.
awesome, bro. Like popping them like you would eat a grape. It's nothing,
Wow.
nothing. And yeah, they're big, but dude, I would ride that thing over a horse. Every horse I ever tried to ride tried to kill me, bro.
No, I wouldn't ride
I
a
was
wild,
looking
wild
for the
elephant.
break. And
Hell no.
Dude, here's my thing.
Dude, but I wouldn't. It would
I
take a lot to
freak
get
out,
me on a
bro.
wild horse at this age.
I can
I was a young man when I was doing that.
I can get my
same.
jollies off riding a motorcycle. If I really want to find like zen and happiness, then I'll ride a jet ski. Like I don't need fucking animals. Like
Dude, one
You
day,
know there's
one day I'm
some-
gonna
Alright.
drag you to a good time, Blake.
So I want to talk about this because jet skis are a lot of fun, but you can fuck yourself up on a jet
oh
ski.
yeah,
big
Yeah.
time.
Have any of y'all ever done the shit where you're on a jet? And so for those of you who don't know how a jet ski works, it's got to have water running through it to steer, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be on the throttle to steer. So you can let off the throttle while you're moving, turn it,
and nothing
and
happens.
Then, and nothing happens, and then you can hit the throttle and it'll fucking and spin real fast. Throw your
man.
ass 1,000 miles across the lake.
Dude,
And then hit you in the head when you're trying to get back on it.
Yeah.
I was riding a jet ski maybe 2 weeks ago. These kids got them, and I cut it, and I punched something. It caught, whatever, and they had a fireball sticker on the front of the jet ski, and I was cartwheeled, inverted, looking at that
was
sticker. I got lucky, bro.
Dang, man.
Those jet skis are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But they will eat your fucking lunch,
Uh-huh.
man.
Dude, so I'm at that really cool age where the last time I rode a jet ski, I didn't wreck it or fall off it even, but I rode it for like 3 or 4 hours straight. And the next day I could barely fucking walk. Yeah,
So
things hurt that you don't realize fucking even like muscles that you don't know exist or
Oh, yeah.
are like in pain. The
Have
day
you guys
after.
ever rode a stand-up jet ski?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that'll
Oh,
punch
that's
you in the
cool.
nuts.
Oh yeah, let's change the fucking game.
I don't
right
ride
there.
them anymore.
ball
So-
punchers?
Yeah, the first time I ever tried to ride a stand-up jet ski, I'm laying on it like you're supposed to, and I'm getting ready to take off, hit the throttle, and that jet blasted me right in the balls. That's what happens.
Uh-huh.
They don't tell you that shit because it's
Uh-uh.
funny to watch people get blasted in the
Uh-huh.
balls, dude.
That
And
shit
then,
hurts.
and then once you get, and they make it look easy, like
Takes your
fucking,
shorts
you
off.
watch Waterworld
They do
or
flips and
something.
shit?
Yeah, they're like jumping around and riding. Just get up and go in a straight line in a stand-up jet ski. That shit is not easy. That is hard.
You know,
Yep.
tip over, man.
You ever gone tubing behind a jet ski before?
I have, yeah.
Yeah,
I've gone,
I used to
I've gone
slalom ski
wakeboarding
behind
and
a-
skiing behind a jet
jet
ski.
ski.
wow.
It was a big jet ski though, like
Oh,
a like a
okay.
three-seater.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I thought I was gonna
Dude.
drown one time because so we owned this jet ski for a little while when I was younger. It was a toy my stepdad bought, and I hadn't like learned how to wakeboard yet, and so he was like, "Yeah, wakeboard. Let's buy one. Let's go. Let's do it." So we went out on the lake and we were trying to do it, and I got down in the water, and he was like, he's being a pussy about it. Honestly, is what it came down to, and he fucking and he hit the throttle but barely, and so like I was sitting there dragging in the water like. Fuck, this sucks, dude. I need more power. And he was like,
It's a fine line with the jet ski because they're
Uh-huh.
so torquey and fast, and wakeboarding requires like It's like 13 miles an hour is the optimum speed to wakeboard on.
It's faster than that, but
I'll
yeah.
say when
It's slower than you think.
No.
It's like 15 to 20.
No,
Yeah.
No, it's
when
not.
we used
It's
to,
15 to 20 is
10
fucking
or
fast.
12.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's
Oh man, I like
10
to do it at like
12.
65, 70. That's
And
So-
then
fun.
especially with these boats now, they're throwing 4 or 5 foot wakes.
Oh, yeah.
10 to 12.
so no
I
bullshit.
mean, maybe correct us wrong.
We used to-
hit us up in the comments. Let us know what the right wakeboard speed is.
I thought it was like
miles an hour.
15 to
Because
17.
I'm not a fucking
13.
wakeboarder.
we used to teach.
I'm just guessing.
My cousin taught wakeboarding. I taught slalom skiing. I like to slalom ski, and yeah, the start like at a beginner level, you're going between 10 and 12 miles an hour on a wakeboard. On a slalom ski, you're going like 25 to 30.
Yep, it's a lot faster on a slalom. It takes a lot to get out of water on a slalom. I mean, you
And I will
you
say
swallow
that
a lot
I
of water.
told you I've slalom skied behind a jet ski. It was actually really good because so many boats now are geared to or are built for wakeboarding. They're real heavy. That jet ski, you can only, first of all, you can only do it with one person on the jet ski and then me behind it. I'm not a small guy, so only two of us. I jump off, put the slalom ski on, and take off. But the beautiful thing about the slalom skiing behind the jet ski is there's
The
no
wake,
wake.
yeah.
So you can just like you just skip across that wake because it's almost
and
non-existent.
you get up faster, so
What do
you
you
swallow less
think-
water.
At your fastest or at maybe, I don't know, just when you're crossing that wake. I've seen it, never done it. What is the average speed?
So I got
when
to a
you're-
point when I was doing it a lot. I got to a point where I like to be right around like 32, 33 miles an hour.
That's
You're
boat
hauling
speed.
ass.
Yeah, boat.
Okay.
You can to put this in perspective, you can fly at 30 miles an hour.
And that
Like
was
literally fly out of the water behind the boat at 30
Yeah.
miles
Oh,
an hour.
that's so
That was-
But I
fast.
think
In a
when you
car,
cross
that's-
the wake, you're doubling that speed.
yeah. Well, I'm zigzagging behind it,
right.
and it's doing 32 miles an hour. So I don't know. I was probably doing 45.
50.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And
cool,
you've
dude.
But I've
sucked
also
a nose full of water
yeah.
doing it.
So you dig your toe and you go
Yeah.
across that wake, and your toe just digs a little bit, and it just fucking like rips
It's
you
cart.
right out of the fucking ski. The
Oh,
ski
man.
stops, and you get ripped out, and then you land on your face, and you don't go in the water when you land on your face
You
going that
skip,
fast.
No.
yeah.
You roll, you cartwheel.
I remember doing that in the tubes, man. Just,
Oh, yeah.
Cartwheeling on the water. I think you can cartwheel on the water on any water sport.
Yeah.
Every water sport that exists, you can cartwheel it. You know.
That actually brings up a topic. Let's talk about it. Hardest wipeout.
Dude, I
On the water?
oh,
Let's just go
I've-
hardest wipeout.
I've
Period.
got a good. Yeah,
Oh,
I got to wipe
man.
out.
So one time I wasn't going that as fast. I wasn't doing 32. I was probably doing 25. But I was zigzagging, and what I was going for was just the hardest cut I could get. Right, like that's what you're trying to do on a slalom.
Uh-huh.
So I was stretched out. I mean, I was fully extended, had my arm out, one hand, cut as hard as I can, go back across, switch hands, cut as hard as I can. Right, that's the game I'm playing. And
Back when you had good shoulders.
yeah, dude.
The
And
knees.
something happened, and that rope did one loop around my arm.
Oh no.
And it was because I hit slack. You can catch up to the boat when you're
Oh, yeah.
slalom skiing. So I catch up to the boat a little bit. They're slacking the rope. Normally you just like kind of dig your heels a little bit and you try and dig it out. This time the rope twisted on me. It was I don't know. It was
This
probably
is so terrifying.
It was probably it was definitely my fault. But when the slack picked back up, that boat's still going, right? So the slack picked back up and it just snapped and I thought I broke my arm. Again, ripped me out of my ski. I go underwater. I can't swim. My arm is
Drags you for at least
it
a
turns
second.
out it wasn't broken, but
That's the first time you threw your shoulder out,
dude,
right?
it fucking hurt. It hurt so bad. I thought it was broken,
Damn,
and I'm in the
man.
water. Like, luckily I had you don't do that without a vest on because you can knock yourself out.
Scariest
Yeah.
time I wiped out. So I used to live in Utah, and it's hard to describe what it looked like out there because it was such a mix of geography, I
Yep.
guess.
Utah's crazy like that.
There was just huge mountains, and it went into like a desert area that
there's
almost
forest.
transitioned. It kind of looked like Travis, with the juniper shrubs and shit like that. So there was this highway 191 that went along like a cliffside that you could tell had just eroded over time, but it had a shear to it, and then you could see where all the sand had piled up. So I had hiked up on top of it, and I had cowboy boots on, and I wanted to go down the side of it, and I saw these like grain silo almost effects where it had eroded, and it was just like loose gravel and dirt. So I was like, cool, and I just wandered down the trail, and I started gaining speed, and I could run down these like little hills, and it would just catch all my weight and take these big jumps. Eventually, I got going so fast, I went out of control. And I just started whipping, dude. I ragdolled down that fucking hill to the point where I was like
shit.
out of control. I couldn't stop myself, and I was like, "I'm fucking dead, dude. I'm gonna die." And then
That's scary.
I totally
That
stopped.
reminds me of
and-
those skiers when they're coming down the hill real fast and they just
End
you
over
know,
end.
they can't keep
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I mean that's what happens.
Yeah, dude.
Skis are 300 yards from where you stopped.
Dude, I didn't even
crazy.
think about crashing snow skiing. That I've crashed pretty
Yeah.
hard snow skiing.
Dude, I got a Wipeout story for you guys.
Hold on 1 second. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back to Wipeout stories. All right.
Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/whiskey and whiskers and browse the unlimited selection of audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audible.com/whiskey and whiskers to get started today. Why Audible? Audible content includes an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original audio shows, news, comedy, and more from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, and entertainers. So I'm still doing the 3 body problem thing on audiobook. On Audible. It's a hard sci-fi book. I'm almost done with book number 2, and I'm still digging the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, and there's so much good stuff on there. If you want to hear some stories about being in the snow or on the lake or whatever, like there's audiobooks for all that shit.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
My mom's legally blind. She used to get audiobooks from like the state when I was young, and it was awesome. I hated reading, but I'd listen to audiobooks. But Audible definitely has a huge selection. It's great.
Yeah.
To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/whiskey and whiskers. Again, that's audibletrial.com/whiskey and whiskers for your free audiobook.
All right, so
Wiping
Let's hear
out.
it.
Wiping
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
let's hear it.
All right. And I think this is a popular one through some of y'all. It's never been told on the air. Here we go. So we were in, I don't know, I was with you guys. We went to Alligator fucking Station.
oh yeah, we
Far
were
East Texas.
Far East Texas.
Louisiana
Far
line.
East Texas, man.
Yikes.
And we were down there hunting alligators, doing, getting drunk, doing our thing. And I look in the distance, and, dude, I'm beyond blackout drunk. I wasn't blacked out drunk because I kind of remember the fall, but I was drunk, like shit.
Hell yeah.
Young. Just got out of the Navy, like,
Mhm.
ready to rock. And, Blake fucking, hey, we got a boat. We don't own a boat, so this is great. And I take off fucking running, dude. Yes, please take over at any time. This is a good one.
We commandeered a boat.
Yeah.
We borrowed, commandeered,
Yeah, y'all
pirated,
borrowed it.
pirate.
Pirated a boat. Y'all pirated a boat.
And
Which is exciting
for the
for
record,
me.
we're talking
Jackson,
about
do you
like
know how exciting that is
a
for me?
flat bottom like metal boat, but we're also in alligator country.
Yeah, we were in alligator country, which, okay, let's explain alligator country.
Alligator.
When you're next to the water, they put these
Railroad
pieces
ties.
of wood. I don't think they're called railroad tie. The railroad tie is the spike.
Are they gator
Well,
ties?
it's elevated. They're like when
they're
you stand on the
railroad
edge of the water.
Okay, they're railroad ties. A railroad spike is a railroad spike.
So they can't. The alligators can't climb up onto the shore. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, it was raised up 4 or 5 feet, man. And so I'm running down this bank.
And this boat ramp is cut down into the like.
Dude, they cut the earth out and made this boat ramp. And I'm, full tilt.
It's dark.
And yeah, dude, I can't see. Couldn't have seen anything.
And we have the lights
anyway.
off on the
sun
boat,
could have been
you
out.
know.
I would have still done it, man. And I'm fucking booking it, bro. As fast as I can move, full throttle, and my feet just nothing.
like Scooby Doo running in the air.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm in the air running.
Some Wile E. Coyote shit.
Dude,
Yeah.
I crash onto a boat ramp.
And
it's
it's-
like textured for
Yeah, it's like
traction.
cheese grater, dude.
Dude, I would have to work to crash a motorcycle at that extent. Like,
He
it
just
was
smeared across the
dude.
boat.
just knees, both knees, both elbows. I thank God I didn't hit my fucking face. I've always been good at that, but
But that
Jesus,
sound he
man.
makes, that's just like.
ripped my shorts off, dude. Like, it fucked me up, man. And then I'm laying there on this boat ramp and I'm fucking dying, bro.
You gotta get eaten by alligators and shit.
And they're like, get in the boat. Get in the boat.
Yeah, we gotta go.
And I'm like, yeah, we got a pirated boat. And so I fucking get up and I get in this boat and I'm bleeding everywhere. And there's fucking alligators everywhere.
Oh, everywhere. Like you shine the light out into the water.
It was such a great experience.
Eyeballs
Dude,
everywhere.
that's so crazy.
Didn't
Oh,
break
man.
any bones, just skin heals. So that's how you make a good story, man.
That's a pretty good wipeout.
Yeah.
Dude, it was gnarly. I mean, I probably have a better one, but
That's a good one.
a lot of people not a lot of people witnessed it, but enough.
I
and
witnessed
hey,
it. I did.
Hey,
I witnessed it.
we caught an alligator that night.
Oh yeah,
boys.
that's what I was gonna say.
we
Is
ain't
that
never talked about.
that wasn't even the highlight of that fucking
That was
experience. Like,
definitely not the highlight.
Look how
of
big
my
alligator that night.
That's one of the most memorable catches. I want to get into like our best catches,
At Lunch Money Fishing.
but first let's talk about this alligator as a runner-up or an honorable mention for great
Yeah.
catches.
uh-huh.
So barbecue contest.
We're in the swamp.
We're in the swamp and we have racks of ribs for days. Just as many racks
I
of
would
ribs. as
like
you
to
can
know
have.
how the rack of ribs got to us. I'm actually kind of disgusted. Well, you're about to tell them, hey, we got some rotten ribs.
Uh-huh.
But I'd like to talk to the butcher.
Oh yeah.
Because you didn't buy those. Those weren't no plastic wrapped ribs. They were wrapped in paper.
So we had a bunch of ribs. It turns out one of the racks had gone rancid, and
Putrid.
it's not like we had them sitting in the back of the truck for a day. Like we bought them on the way to this thing, got there. All the rest of the ribs are good. This one rack, like you open it up and you just go, oh my god.
Oh man.
And so we got rid of it, right? Just get them out of here.
Get it out of the house.
And our thought process. There was this little kid. I don't know how old
What
was
a
he.
great experience. This
Probably-
little kid, he's throwing a topwater bait, and he's pulling in
He's probably 12
2
years
or
old.
3-foot alligators all day. And
So
his
we know-
dad would unhook them, and they were taking pictures of this kid with these alligators, and he was catching them on line and lure, and it was fucking awesome.
That's cool.
And
So we knew the alligators were
we
out
knew.
there.
Yeah, we
But
saw 'em.
we're just seeing little, like, 1 foot at the most from nose to tail, like just little tiny motherfuckers. And so I take those ribs and I tied a rope around them and just threw them out into the water. And all day they sat out there and nothing happened.
What?
All day, yeah.
Hey,
Well,
we threw them out at around sunset, yeah, or no?
so it
It was in the
Just
afternoon.
drinking, I don't know.
the barbecue contest is over. Everybody's hanging out, just sitting around drinking. And all of a sudden there's a commotion down at the water, like, hey, hey.
Yeah, so
hey.
I'm gonna chime in here because I was the one down at the water. Me and one of our cousins were down there, and we were broing out or whatever. Like we went down, we're drinking a beer together, and we had a spotlight. We were shining around, and we could spotlight out onto this little cove that we were in. And you could see the little eyes everywhere. Like there was fucking alligators that were 2 or 3 foot fucking everywhere. So we're down by the water and we're looking around. We're spotting these little eyes, and we're bullshitting, having a good time. And we shine this light around, and all of a sudden we hit this one spot, and there's a big ass pair of eyes. And so both of us are like, "Holy shit! Did you see that?" And we fucking
Focus.
focus,
Now-
and
Please tell them how many eyes you see when you really hit that light. Like
can
I've
s-
never been anywhere.
They were
like
everywhere.
50 pairs, easy.
Yeah, they were
That. Pairs.
everywhere.
Yeah, 100 eyes, easy. 50 pairs, like
And that's at any moment.
yeah.
You just scan
It
the
was just
water with a flashlight.
Like we're in the heat.
It
The
was
heat of the
hot.
summer, and we couldn't swim there
Swimming.
because there
Right.
were so many
Hot.
alligators.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, dude.
Yeah, it was like
it was
that.
hot.
So we're spotlighting around. We spot this big ass set of eyes, and we're both like, "Holy shit!" And it's swimming in, and it's dark. It's fucking dark, like midnight dark. And so we see it swimming in, and me and my cousin are like, "Holy fuck! Hey!" And we start yelling up at the top. And I ran back up to where everybody was sitting around drinking and grabbed a few people.
Including me, yeah.
And
Yeah,
That's
And
when I
so-
ran down. And I got down there, and Jake had grabbed the rope at that point, and the alligator had grabbed the other end of the rope with the ribs tied to it at that point, and it became a tug-of-war match.
It was on.
And I tried to video it, but it was in the day of flip phones. And the
Yeah,
video
everybody
cameras
tried
sucked.
to take a picture, a
It
video, and it was just
dark.
horrible.
We had flip phones, and there was no good
Yeah.
flashes on the phones. It was just dark.
So we spent a few minutes playing tug of war with this alligator, and we drug it up onto. We talked about the bank, the way it's like elevated with railroad ties or whatever you want, you know.
It was elevated, yeah.
So we're looking down at the water, and we get this motherfucker right up on the edge of the water. And when she comes up and floats to the top, if I said she was 8 feet, I'm being modest.
You're lying.
Yeah,
I would say you're lying.
she was closer.
I think it's 10 to 12.
she was close. She was. I think she was 10. She could have been 12. She was fucking
If
huge.
anybody out there could tell us what an alligator with a 4 to 5 foot head long, 4.5 foot long head, what their
10
body
foot.
uses.
10 foot is
That's
realistic.
big, man.
If
That's
you could
big.
tell us that, comment, please, because we honestly don't know how big this thing was, but the head, I mean, we got more than the head out. We got the legs. We pulled this thing up 4 feet.
This was Steve Irwin caliber fucking.
Yeah.
You could jump on its
We
back.
got
It
him.
was
If we had a
huge.
hook, it was ours.
It was every bit of 8 foot. It was probably 10, and it was like, if I'm
She was
telling
healthy.
if I'm telling a story and drinking, it's 12 to
12, yeah.
14. Yeah.
I think she was.
So
10
it's
foot.
12.
Yeah.
I think she was 10 foot.
It was
Yeah.
a big
At least.
fucking alligator.
Dude, it was awesome. I don't know if a lot of people have caught an alligator on a rope.
That's not even the
best
end of the
part.
story.
Yeah,
So-
that's not even the best part.
So we spend a few minutes just trying to get pictures, and we can't because it's dark. And like I say, there's that edge, and so
We have like
there's
flip
like
phones and
Flip
shit.
phones.
what little light
And we're
there is.
fighting an alligator.
What little
Yeah.
light there is, she's in the shadow of this eave of the shore.
Oh, and just to top this off, just so everybody gets a little bit clearer of a picture, Jake grabbed the rope. Blake and two of our other cousins grabbed onto like belt loops and like waist or whatever, and 4 people are pulling this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big.
And
it was a big fucking.
and we spent a few minutes trying to get pictures. It didn't work out. Eventually, she wrestled the ribs off of the rope and
The
went,
rope ripped through.
and she disappears. And we're like, "Fuck, we lost her." Well, then, like something out of a like Michael Crichton Jurassic Park movie, she pops up in the middle of that fucking cove, and you can see her head in the moonlight. And she tosses it up like the Tyrannosaurus
that goat,
Rex
that goat,
eating that
yeah.
goat. She tosses it up and crunches it. Those fucking ribs
full
just
rack of beef
crunches
ribs,
it.
crunches it clean in half.
I don't know anything, but I've been told that pork ribs are comparable
beef
to
ribs.
human ribs.
No,
No,
it
it
was
was beef
pork
ribs.
ribs.
They were pork ribs.
They were pork ribs?
Yeah.
No, those were pork ribs.
Oh, I thought they were beef ribs.
Nah, competitive ribs, bro.
Ain't nobody
But
cooking
she
beef ribs.
crunched the shit out of them. Just
I love some beef
She could have crunched human ribs for sure. And then she disappeared again. We never saw her. We went out looking for her later in a commandeered boat.
Hey.
but we couldn't find her.
Not to bring up a sour subject, but I just got wind of it. Did a child not get eaten by an alligator there? But 2-3 weeks later?
So a couple weeks after we were there, I don't think it was a child. I think it was a young woman, like teenager, 20s,
Still.
something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, got eaten.
Yikes.
That's fucked.
Attacked by an
I
alligator.
can't help but believe that it was that alligator.
Dude,
Those were all her babies.
She was the boss bitch. Like,
Those were all her babies. It was obvious. You don't go strolling around a bunch of other babies. If they ain't yours, you eat them.
yeah.
They,
Yeah, I think that was her cove.
I think so too.
So, Chop, what's your wipeout story?
Ooh, man. So
I like these stories.
there's
Oh, there's so many.
I have a lot because I was a skater, I wakeboarded, I snowboarded. Like
You're a border bro.
yeah, I'm a
You
boarder.
swam.
Swam. Yeah, definitely some swimming wipeout stories.
Hell yeah, dude.
Here, I'm gonna pour them up while you're
Wipe
telling your
out while
story.
you're swimming.
Come on, Jake.
A diver? I mean,
No.
No, you wipe out when you're swimming, bro.
Oh yeah. You know,
Hard.
you feel like you hit the bottom of the pool or whatever.
Hardest wipeouts I ever had swimming.
No, so
I get it.
there's definitely a few that come to mind. I was at a skate park one time and like I dropped into this like 10, 12 foot thing and hit a wood chip and slid on my face and fucking ran into a box and fucking just fucked my arm up real bad. That was pretty good. But the one that comes to mind, because we were talking about like water and snow. Man, I was wakeboarding one time and I'd gotten all right at wakeboarding, so like I could jump the wake and shit. And like I was buying some boats that were pretty nice where we were throwing those like 3-foot wakes and shit. So I went and I'd gotten pretty good at where I could jump the wake, and I was trying to learn how to spin. That was my new game. So I was trying to do 360s, and so if you're thinking about
before jump.
what's that?
I learned to spin before jump.
You could spin around, but I was trying to like spin,
Spin in the air?
over in,
Yeah,
the
that's-
in the
that's-
air.
You
next
gotta
level.
toss the rope. People don't understand. You
Yeah,
gotta
and
toss
so
the rope.
it
Or
gets
be real flexible.
yeah, it gets a little complicated with when you're in the air over a wake. You gotta pass
Pass the rope.
You gotta pass the rope behind
Yeah.
your back, and so I was learning that whole game. And a few times I'd gotten up there and done the spin and like missed the pass or whatever. So like I landed on the other side, but no rope. So I just kind of like rode and then sunk into the water or whatever because I wasn't getting pulled anymore. But there was one time towards the end of the day where I was trying to learn this particular maneuver, and I got up, got a pretty good jump, and I spun, but I didn't spin fast enough, and so I went to go past the rope, and I grabbed it and got around to the other side, but I didn't spin fast enough, so the edge of the board caught
you hit your
as I
head
was
on the water.
Oh yeah, so the edge of the board caught as I was spinning on the top of the wake, and so I did a flap and just
Slapped
slammed
your back
yeah.
and head on the water.
Yeah, and so to give a little bit of perspective, my toes, I ride goofy, which that won't matter to a lot of people. But if I'm facing the boat, my right foot's forward.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
went
the
out
same.
to the left side, came into the going right, spun towards my back, and so I'm coming around, and I see the boat, but I didn't spin all the way. So I caught my heel side on the top of the wake, and slapped my fucking head against the water. And I was still holding the rope, so I got ripped out of the boots on the
bindings,
wakeboard.
yeah.
That's a big deal for a wakeboard, yeah?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
I've
Most
come
people
out
don't
of
get
the
pulled
boots.
out of their board.
Not
I
not
have.
on. You can definitely, and it happens, but less frequently than like say
Right.
slalom skiing
That's
or
a
something.
laced
Yeah, I
up
used to get
boot.
ripped out
That's a
all the
laced up boot. Well, dude, there might be a lot of people that don't do lake activities, if that's what we'll call them.
Right.
And as far as I
Water
know,
sports.
Is
if
that
you will.
equivalent to like
Water
coming out of your
sport.
snowboard?
You don't get
A
pulled
little
out of your
bit.
boots that often.
'Cause, like,
I
you
mean,
can
Well,
pop
you
out
don't
of
want
your
to.
shoes.
That's the goal, is to stay. in
that's
your
like
Right.
a
boots, for
snowboarder
sure.
getting pulled out of his boots.
So
That's
yeah,
huge.
I got ripped out of the boots, and I managed to hold onto the rope just out of like sheer, I don't know, whatever the fuck, like adrenaline or whatever.
Rule
and
number
so
one.
I was holding on to that, got ripped out of the boots, smacked my head, and then got sucked under because like the
Yeah, it
speed
just
of the
pulls you
boat,
down,
yeah,
yeah.
it pulls you down. And so I went under, and life jacket, like you're saying, when you're playing these kind of games, you're wearing a life jacket, and so I got sucked under, finally let go of the rope, and it took me 3 or 4 seconds to hit the top of the water again. By the time I was conscious enough to like let go,
Dude,
and that
that's-
was a fuck
Did you
me moment. 'cause
swallow a bunch of water? and
that
all
was what I was gonna
goodness?
say. Is when I slapped my fucking head
Yeah.
and back onto
Goes
the.
into every orifice. Like,
Well, I slapped my
some
back and head on the
sinuses.
water, and I fucking knocked the wind out of myself. And
And
then I
you start
immediately got
breathing
sucked down,
underwater,
and I
yeah.
tried to, and water just fucking immediately. That was a good one. That
You
was
think
pretty
you're
bad.
tough until you swallow a bunch of water.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
I've seen my cousin, dude. This is scary. He was teaching the wakeboarding and whatever. Jumps the wake, lands, digs his toe, gets ripped out, whatever. Well, he lands face first on the water, comes up for air, and that wakeboard hits him in the back of the head,
Oh, fuck. That's a couple stitches. You know what it is.
and he was split open, bleeding.
Knock him out.
It didn't knock him out, thankfully, but it was scary.
Yeah.
It makes you realize,
And
like, this is
guys,
how people die.
These
doing
are
this.
minor injuries on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you really get down to it, these are mine. That's
Oh yeah,
minor.
you don't even think about it. You're going. Y'all are saying 10, 12 miles an hour, and like it's not shit. And you don't think like
That's
water
fast,
going
yeah.
that speed. Like you don't think about it being
And you're
that
crossing
dangerous.
a wake. You're going.
I think a
15,
lot of people
20.
that don't know what they're doing on a wake or driving for a wakeboarder
Uh-huh.
will go faster for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
What I'm saying is ideally 12 miles an hour is about perfect.
Yeah. For some reason, I remember it being a little bit faster, but I'm.
As you
maybe
got
wrong.
better,
It's
you
been a
went
while.
faster
Times
too.
have changed. Boats have changed, Chop.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
I
and
think
you also
it's, I don't know what it is, man, but I look at these boats, these expensive boats, and they have so many louvers on the back of them
Oh, yeah.
to throw a wake. It's insane.
Well, they have. So what they do is they like back in the back of the boat towards the engine. They have these water bags, and so they'll flip a
the
pump on.
ballast, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll throw a bunch of water into the back of the boat, and so you're riding around with 1,500 fucking pounds of water sitting in the
So-
ass end of that boat, and
Yeah.
it just drops the back end so low that when it throws the wake, it's sitting low enough to where it throws the wake high.
Big wake.
My problem with the ballast, I'm all about it. Go have fun, throw your wake, surf. That's a new thing, I guess. Surfing.
Yeah.
it's cool too. I never
wakeboarding?
could do it, but it's cool.
Do it, man. It's fine. But when I try and pull that boat out and you didn't drain all 4 of your ballast,
Now it's pulling your
I
truck in
can't
the water.
pull that truck out.
Yeah.
It's a problem. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're running a boat slip and a forklift has to pick your boat up, drain your ballast.
Yeah.
It's fucking heavy.
It's a lot, dude, because I remember
Dude,
some of the...
it's over 4,000 pounds easy.
I was going to
another
say,
one of
this
those
was
things.
back in the day. This was like probably 10 years ago. I can remember getting in boats that had 400-pound ballast bags. And so, like,
It's-
that's 1,600 pounds right there.
Just
and
in
that was,
balance.
Dude,
yeah,
it's
and that
not
was...
even counting the weight of the boat.
Right, yeah. And that was 10 years ago. So
You'll
I'm sure
get
it's
in
got
these
crazy.
Malibus and start flipping switches and it'll start pumping water and shit. You flip them the other way, it'll start dumping.
Yep.
And they're just super savvy with it, dude. I'm not that boat guy. I don't like those boats, but
So let's
I'm all about it.
let's take a shot.
Yeah, let's do it.
Here we go, guys. Cheers,
Cheers.
brothers.
Cheers.
It's good seeing you guys. Thanks for having me. It's Jake with Lunch Money Fishing. Cheers, guys.
It's Evan Williams, bro.
Now, I want to, while we're here taking this shot, I want to critique it a little bit.
Yeah.
First of all, I dig it. I dig it a lot.
You would dig it.
Sweetness, it's got a little bit of sweet, not a lot. From 1 to 5, I'd give it a 2.
Yeah, 2.5.
Crunch, it's got some crunch.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm going to give it a 3. Bite, I'm going to give it a 4. It's there.
Are we judging how strong the bite is or how much we like the bite? Because that was
I don't like it.
I think we're judging how strong the bite is.
strong.
I'm going to say I like the bite, and it's a 4.
So I would say strength of bite, yeah, 4.
I've drank so much Evan Williams in my life that this is gnarly for me.
This is
Tell him, Jake. Tell him.
it is similar to Evan Williams. I see where you're going.
Blech.
The bottle, which for the record, I love Evan Williams.
Yeah.
I've drank more Evan Williams than any other whiskey.
Without a
Sure,
doubt.
of course.
Bottle,
Hey, Evan Williams, hit us up.
bottle. It's got roses on it. I mean, it's
And the I like the top. It's definitely classier than Evan Williams as
Yeah.
far as the bottle goes.
I
Yeah.
like the bottle.
It's the same fucking brew, though. It is.
and drunkenness.
It's there, bro.
We'll have to get there.
Let's do one back to back.
Yeah,
Shit.
okay.
Okay.
Rule number 1.
Hell yeah.
So while we're pouring those up, though, I'm gonna go ahead with my story. I'm gonna stay true to water too. The hardest I wiped out was in a golf cart. If we have time, I'll get to that. But
Dude, I want to hear this.
But the water. So a buddy of mine had a pretty nice souped up boat, and it had a wake rack on it, and it was fast as shit.
Yeah.
And he had a 7-foot tube that was flat on each side of the tube.
Oh, no.
And we would tie it to the wake rack, and you get up around 22, 20.
flying tubes,
You get up about
bro.
22, 23 miles an hour, and this tube lifts up out of the water.
Yep.
And you're flying behind the boat. Really 30s where you really get out of the water and high, but you start coming
Didn't
out
they
at about
outlaw
22.
those tubes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
don't
did.
really sell them anymore.
Yeah.
You got to have an OG tube to do that.
Yeah, you gotta have an OG tube to do it. And,
They exist.
and dude, first of all, when it's pulling you and you're getting up to speed, it's like you're in a supersonic water slide at Schlitterbahn, just loud and just all kinds of noise and water splashing all in your face and in your mouth, and then you start to skip a little bit, and each time you come out of the water, it goes silent, and it's just smooth.
It's floating.
Dude, and then you come out of the water all the way and you're flying behind the boat. And it's just wind noise and it's smooth. And it
think
tricks
we're
you because
flying,
you're
bro.
like, this is fucking awesome. It's good. It's going all good. Man, the tiniest gust of wind comes and that tube will flip, catch, and body slam the fuck
Hell
out of
yeah.
you at 30 miles an hour.
Dude, break that collarbone like
You
nothing.
talk about hurt, dude. Like I took it pretty easy, but still, like I bailed off like when it started to flip me at like 10 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And it was still gnarly and it hurt pretty bad. The boat gets quiet, you get back on, and like you might have been talking before and like you're not talking anymore, you know?
You okay, bro?
Yeah.
You're just sitting in the back of the boat real
Dude,
quiet.
but on the
licking your
boat,
wounds.
one of the guys I was with dislocated his shoulder and the other one cracked 3 ribs.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore water.
Yeah, man,
sport,
that's hardcore.
So cheers to the flying tubes, boys.
Cheers, boys.
The
Salute.
back-to-backs.
And to
Come
wipe it
by.
out.
Wiping out, hell yeah.
You know, rule number 1, man.
Yes, sir.
So, if we got time, I'll do the golf cart story too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
So there was a time in my life that I worked at golf courses, and one of the many jobs I did at golf courses was I was a cart boy, right? So I would run and get the carts and clean them out after the golfers had partied in them all day and whatnot.
Right.
And we were coming to end of shift. This particular golf course, we're in the hill country. It was built on a whole lot of hills, and
Yep.
the back parking lot leading down to the tennis court where all the employee parking was steep as fuck. And these are gas-powered golf carts. Of course, they have a governor on them,
Yeah.
But, you can always hit a hill, switch it into neutral, and the governor doesn't matter anymore.
Whipping
Right.
shitties.
And so I'm taking one of my coworkers to his car, and then I'm going to finish up and close up shop. And we're hauling ass in this golf cart, and we hit the top of that hill where his car's parked, and I hit it in neutral, and we're flying down this fucking hill. And he's not really paying attention, and he's like, oh, wait, there's my car, and he points to the left-hand side. And so I whip the cart to fucking turn it, but we're going way too fucking fast for a golf cart.
Yeah.
It flips on its side and slides about 100 yards down this parking lot.
Dude, that's a
And-
long slide for a golf cart.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it was a golfer's cart that hadn't been cleaned yet, so beer cans went fucking everywhere. And let me tell you how fun it is to explain that those beer cans are not yours after
Yeah.
you crash the fuck out of a golf cart and an ambulance has to come.
And you're drunk.
And so when we finally come to a stop, I look down, and the guy I was
Somebody
with, the
call an
passenger,
ambulance.
his face was pinned between the road and the bar that connects the roof of the golf cart to the golf cart. And he looks like something out of a horror film, just completely gone on one side, and he's unconscious. And I jump out of the golf cart, and that shit that they say, like the adrenaline dump or whatever, dude, I picked up the golf cart and just threw it up on its fucking wheels off of
Yeah.
him. Like it was no big deal. And as soon as it landed and he started to like kind of sit up a little bit, I looked down at my foot, and the bone was sticking out of my shoe.
Shit.
And I just fucking collapsed in pain. And then the ambulances came, and then hospital. and
Your
then-
bone was sticking out of your shoe.
Yep,
What
I
kind
ha-
of shoes were you wearing?
Nikes, dude. I
Wow.
had a crush fracture. I had 32 fractures in my foot.
God damn.
When it happened.
That's a good one, man.
Yep, I was on workers' comp for 6 straight months, dude. Couldn't walk.
Fuck.
That was the most gnarly wipeout that I experienced in my lifetime.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I've got
that's
a
good.
gnarly wipeout I've seen, and it's hilarious if we have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear
Okay,
it.
so I was on this Navy boat. They called it the George Washington. It wasn't a big deal. I mean, it really wasn't. But we used to raise hell on that thing, and when you hit that wave, the boat goes up, then it goes down. You hit that wave, the boat goes up, it goes down. Well, they got really steep ladder wells on that thing, and when the boat goes down, you jump up these ladder wells, and dude, you can go up 12 flights of stairs, right? And it's awesome. It's fucking Mario. You're playing Mario, bro. You'll pop through a portal.
Wow.
It's great.
Wow.
But
If you miss,
this guy he jumped and he went through that portal and he hit his jaw. He didn't catch his feet. And he hit his jaw on that knife edge and clacked both of his ends of his jaw.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a port. It's a fucking twist hatch. And there's he tried to go through it and missed his feet. And he fucking broke his jaw, man. And, yeah, dude, they
He's walking
wired
around the boat with his shit wired shut.
Yeah, and it was,
Oh.
dude, at the time, it was fucked up. But he ate a bunch of pills and all that, and he got sick. He thought he was going to die. But now it's fucking hilarious. Like, you can't throw up with your mouth wired shut, Like,
Damn.
you took too many opiates, you idiot. Your mouth is wired shut.
Damn.
We
Just
weren't
get out your
thinking
nose.
that at the time. It was hilarious, though. I mean, that's a funny story, bro. You got to see it. You got to see a sailor just launch through a whole floor. It's awesome. It happens every day. Yes, see, this is the things y'all don't know about.
behind the scenes.
Yeah,
So-
this is what Americans are doing with your tax dollars.
We're getting a little brutal with these stories. Let's bring it back up a little bit.
Hey, take a few minutes. Let's talk about. So this weekend we're gonna go bow fishing,
Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
and we've got this thing booked. They're gonna take us out on the lake. It's freshwater. Take us out on the lake, and this boat is lined with LEDs and spotlights.
You
that
mean
shine-
Fishes?
Lighten up the
Like
world,
fishes.
man. Shooting fishes
Gar?
through their heads.
I think we're do you call
Okay.
it fishing or do you call it hunting?
So I looked it up.
Yes.
You cannot shoot any game species in Texas with a bow and arrow.
So you can't get any largemouth.
No, no bass fishing this weekend.
No catfish either.
No
So
catfish.
it'll be like carp and gar.
Carp and gar. They call them buffalo.
Gar,
But you can get
buffalo.
Gaspergoo.
You can get
I think
alligator
the
gar.
Gaspergoo is fair.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna have to talk to the guide.
So we're gonna throw some shit on the Instagram before this episode
Oh,
airs.
we're gonna blow it up.
We'll definitely take some pictures. Check that out.
Y'all are
don't
gonna lose
forget
40
to follow
arrows.
and
not
like
catching
everything we do. We're doing this for you guys. Like and follow.
I'd like to
Don't
go.
forget.
I'd like to
Jake-
go ahead and call it right now.
What do they say? Smash that like button.
They're gonna
Yeah.
they're gonna shoot 40 arrows, not get any fish, and their arms are gonna come back all tore up and blistered from where
yeah.
the
Chris,
bows
do
have
you
been
know how
racked
worried
into
I
it.
am about my arrow accuracy?
Not at all.
Dude, I'm petrified. I'm like, dude, I haven't
If I-
shot an arrow since
if I
was
play
like
my
8
cards-
years old.
If I play my cards right, I'm gonna be seeing double before I ever shoot an arrow.
Yeah.
So I
You're
don't know.
gonna get
Well,
more fish that way.
I'm worried about my bum ass
You
shoulder.
got 2 fish at once.
What do you mean?
It's like getting 2 birds stoned at once.
But
Yeah.
I'm such an OG. I think I can shoot a bow with both hands. It doesn't feel different.
Jake, tell us a minute where they can find you.
All right, you guys can find me at Lunch Money Fishing on Instagram. I'm there. We're working on a Facebook page, but I don't like Facebook, guys. So you're gonna have to deal with that.
Good shit's on Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good shit's on Instagram. You guys, y'all just hold tight. We're gonna get that boat. We're gonna guide. We're gonna do it all. Y'all just hold tight.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, I'm gonna keep
Keep catching
producing
fish,
these
bro.
fish. Yeah,
Hell
that's
yeah.
what we do, man.
and I'm gonna
I'm
go
just
to
a
Disney
fucking
World.
late guy trying to get paid. That's all.
This is one of our closest bros, so be sure to go check him out on anything that he's got available, and like Instagram,
At Lunch
obviously.
Money Fishing, it's just go check it out. That's it. Just like y'all are checking out Lunch Money or
Whiskey and Whiskers.
Whiskey and Whiskers. Sorry, we've been drinking. Dude, it's all fun. It's all good for the soul. Do it.
And while you're at it, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And be sure to listen every Monday on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, and YouTube. You can catch new episodes then, and you can check out our midweek rolls that are coming out usually on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So be sure to check us out, and we'll see you guys next week.
Keep drinking those beers. You hurt?